Good day, everyone. When I go for my walks on the beach, I always see a young man, he's in his late 20s, walking alone every day, regularly like clockwork. And I got very curious, and one day I engaged him in conversation. And I told him that I see him every day and he's always alone. And I wondered at that. And he very willingly and frankly, he told me, he says, "Ma'am, I don't have any friends." And I thought that was strange for a man in his 20s. And he said, "I've never met anyone with whom I gel, with whom I feel I can have a conversation, with whom I feel I can have a friend." And that got me thinking about a story I once heard about a man who found a lovely pearl. But that pearl had a tiny flaw in it. And the man said, "If I take off this flaw, I will have the most expensive and most exquisite pearl in the world." And he tried to take off one layer. The flaw was still there. He tried another layer, and the flaw was still there. And he went on and on until there were no flaws and there was no pearl either. And this story brings me back to this young man and many like him who feel that they cannot find someone perfect. There is no perfect friend. All of us have flaws. All of us are different. I asked the young man finally, I said, there is a saying that when you point a finger at a neighbor, there are three pointing back at you. Have you ever thought of the fact that you too have flaws? He kept very quiet. But now I put that question to you, my dear viewers. None of us are perfect. And if we try to correct the flaws of others, we will soon be left with no one around us. Because our major flaw in this case is trying to correct the flaws of others without looking at the motes in our own eyes. And remember one thing, there is beauty in difference, and there is perfection in imperfection.